Hey guys, this is Jade with Sort of Beautiful. I wanted to do a vlog about the Battle of the Bastards episode that aired on Game of Thrones a few weeks ago. I actually meant to write up a post on my blog about it, um, but I actually just not too long ago finished up my journal entry about it because it was too epic not to write about. And I just got it, done the way I wanted it done, and figured it'd be easier for me to just share my journal entry with you all and discuss it from there. So this is my journal. It's my Fobonichi. I'll probably have more on this if you're curious as to what it is. But you can also just Google Fobonichi and I'm sure a ton of stuff will come up. But this is the journal I've been working in. It's Miguel Ruiz, but I changed the cover of it to make it a hardback because that cover was flimsy. But anyway, on to Battle of the Bastards. Let's see, that entry is here. Okay, guys. I loved this episode. This was probably, besides this and the last one, it was tied for me for best episode of the season. It was just, it had so much. And it took me through a range of emotions. It's not chronicled here. My journal entry mainly focused on the actual Battle of the Bastards. But the episode begins with Dany and Meereen. She just got back from being taken by that Khalasar and Jorah and Dario rescuing her. Well, actually, her rescuing them and everybody else in that Khalasar. And I think we can safely say that Dany is the stallion that mounts the world, because the prophecy for that was someone would come along and unite all the Khalasars. Well, she's pretty much done that. So maybe Dany was always meant to be the stallion that mounts the world and not her offspring. And so she's back in Meereen. She just got there. Her city is under siege from the slave masters, from Yunkai, maybe Astapor. I'm not sure exactly, but I'm pretty sure Yunkai is one of the cities after her, trying to basically make things go back to the way they were, because Dany swept through and basically just freed everybody in her path. And the slave masters aren't so happy about that. And Dany's plan is just to go out there and wreck shop. Oh, I'm just going to blaze up and set everybody on fire and just basically just decimate everybody. And Tyrion kind of has to pull her back from that and just, let her know, slow it down, take it down a few notches. All of that ain't quite necessary. And that's the that's shaky territory. That's the ground you're getting into, where the same things your dad was doing that got him basically killed for all the nuttiness that he was doing. So Tyrion had to tell, take a couple steps back. Let's reevaluate this. But the way she handles it is so boss. I love Dany. She goes, oh, we're here to talk about surrender. And the guy's like, oh, yeah, well, you can pack up your people and leave. And she's like, oh, no, I don't mean my surrender. I mean your surrender. When I tell you I hollered, I was like, yes, that's the Dany I know right there. And then she grabbed Drogon and then his brothers, Rhaegal and Viserion, and they flew out and wrecked shop on all the ships, and then they took off. It was just great, excellent, wonderful. Thank you, lovely opening scene. I appreciate you, Game of Thrones. And then we get to the Battle of the Bastards. Now this here image I printed off from the website awesomelyluvvy.com. I am about 99.9% sure that she is the person that actually put the image together as well. So I'm giving credit to her. This is her image. I just printed out and stuck it in my journal because it was appropriate and it fit and it looked nice. The only thing I did here was I just drew like a little border around it and painted it in with red watercolor paints. And I've been using these Prima watercolor paints. They're little small travel kits. These are the classic colors. And so I just used red, the red color here. See, they keep falling out, these ones. I'm going to have to find a way to stick them in there good. This pack. Tropicals do fine. I don't know why this one is like that. So, I also have the tropical colors. The set looks just like that other one I just showed you, except it has these colors instead. So, if you're interested in these, guys, they run about $20 on Amazon. But anyway, back to the Battle of the Bastards. So I printed that out. I wanted it to be shiny, all the pictures to kind of be shiny, so I went over it with a coat of diamond glaze. Now, a tip for you all, if you're going to do that, which, if you can see when I'm rocking the paper, you see how it kind of shines. I think it looks nice, but if you're going to do that, my suggestion would be to actually go over the image first with the diamond glaze and then cut it out and adhere, because of course I ran over a bit and in some spots when I was trying to erase, it got smudged here and there, and not enough probably for most people to notice, but I noticed because it's in my journal and it aggravates the crap out of me. So that's just a tip for you guys if you are considering doing that for any project. So now to the battle. You got Ramsay Bolton on one side. I still think of him as Ramsay Snow because he's always gonna be a bastard in my eyes, and not like Jon Snow bastard, because you like him bastard, but that damn Ramsay, ugh, I can't stand him. But anyway, so you got Ramsay on one side, you got Jon on another. It starts out and Ramsay brings out poor Rickon. And he's standing there, and you just surely think that Rickon's about to get it with this knife. And he cuts him loose and decides he wants to play a game. Of course he does. It's Ramsay stinking Bolton. So he tells the boy to run. He takes off towards Jon, and Jon takes off on his horse towards him. They're trying to get to each other. Now, for the life of me, I cannot understand why Rickon didn't bob and weave. Why he didn't stop, drop, and roll. Zeke, do something, Rickon. You gotta help yourself out. It's the Game of Thrones. It's treacherous out here, and Ramsay is crazy. You've only been with him a little bit of time, but I'm sure you figured out his crazy by now. So you gotta help yourself here, honey. But he just running in a straight line, just making it easy for him to kill him. And I just kind of knew it was over for poor Rickon, which kind of made me sad because we just got Rickon back. And I was really hoping that it was all some colossal trick by the Umbers to make Ramsay think that they were on his side, and then that they would eventually rise up against him. Because the dire wolf's head that they showed in the episode where Rickon and Osha are given to Ramsay by, I think it's Small John Umber. The dire wolf's head to me just looked too small to be a dire wolf's head. But I guess I was completely wrong about that, which made me sad because, like I said, we just got Rickon back. And now he's already dead. It was really heartbreaking to see him die right in front of his brother. Like, right when Jon had gotten to him. That's when the arrow took him, and I'm pretty sure that's how Ramsay planned it out the whole time. So this here, after Rickon died, and Jon, the look on Jon's face, guys, right here, I had to print it out because it was significant to me. This look here. When he looked at Ramsay, I knew right then and there. I said, I didn't. Whatever happened in the rest of the battle, whether Jon's side won or lost or whatever, I knew at that moment that it was over for Ramsay Bolton. Done, kaput, over. I mean, the look on Jon's face just said, it's over. I mean, I really don't know what else. It's over. It's done. You done, Ramsay. That's it. So I loved it. I was like, oh, Ramsay, you better watch out because snow is coming. And then right after, like directly after that scene, Jon takes off on his horse alone. I mean, his army is like way, way in back of him. And he starts towards Ramsay, which is probably kind of what Ramsay wanted him to do in the first place. And Ramsay's army starts towards him. And then they shoot like these arrows at him. And the arrows catch his horse, but he manages to like flip off and tuck and roll before the arrows can get him. And when he comes up and he's standing there and he's kind of looking down. And it's almost like he's just contemplating and thinking about what's going on and contemplating the ramifications of everything that's going on around him in this moment. And he takes his sword belt off and he's looking at, in that moment right here, I printed that out too because that moment hit me and impacted me as well, because this is the moment where I felt like he never looked more like his father. I mean, and I get that Ned is not his biological father. I hope I didn't spoil that for anybody. But it's been aired. I get that, but in all the ways that count, Ned is his father, and Jon is very much like his father in the way that he carries himself, in the way that he really values honor and duty and the right thing, and even having to make the hard choice, knowing that the hard choice is right and it may piss off some other people. But Jon does what he has to do, especially as what the new Lord. Well, he's not Lord Commander anymore, but before that, he does what he has to do. He's in a hard position, but he does the right thing for everybody and not just a certain few or this person over here or this bunch over there. He does what's good for everyone. And so this moment really kind of hit me hard, and it made me think of his father and how, even though Ned died in the first season, that his life is and legacy is still impacting those around him, especially his children, especially Jon, and Arya and Bran and poor Rickon. Well, not too much longer for him, but his memory, his legacy, his values, his ideologies live on through his children, and I just love that scene because of that. You guys, and then there was a scene where Jon kind of gets shoved under some people, and personally during that scene, I felt claustrophobic myself. Him just fighting his way up, trying to get a breath of air. I couldn't do it. I don't know how he did that, and I really thought it was about to be over, but then I remember this moment. I was like, nah, it ain't ended like that, because Ramsay gotta die. So I that moment, like I said, made me claustrophobic. And then when Wun and Jon and Tormund took off after Ramsay, after the veil had come through, the veil for the wind, and basically decimated Ramsay's army, and Wun got through. First of all, poor Wun with all those arrows and spears in him, and I just felt bad for the poor dude. And Wun has been clutch a few times, and they may not have shown those times in the show, but well, yeah, they did show those times in the show. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting them mixed up because I've been reading the books again, and then should be rewatching the show. So anyway, but yeah, Wun's been clutch, and then for him to go out like that and Ramsay just shoot the man in the eye, and I mean, that really pissed me off too and upset me. And I was like, well, we just got to pour some out for one. Because he did the damn thing. And so then Jon he throws down his sword, picks up the shield, and the arrows are flying at him. He's blocking the arrows. He's going towards Ramsay. Finally connects. Boom! Knocks Ramsay out. Down. He's punching him. Oh, I wanted him to punch him to death, y'all. And I know that sounds morbid, but that's just how I felt in the moment because I can't stand Ramsay Bolton. But then he sees Sansa and he stops because he knows that that's not his kill. Like, Sansa went through so much because of Ramsay and at his hands that it was only right for her to do the honors, if you will. So, but my favorite moment of this episode was when the Bolton banners dropped and those Stark flags flew over Winterfell once again. And then they also show these scenes where Sansa and Jon are talking, and behind Jon you can see the Stark banner, and also 2 Stark banners, and behind Sansa you can see 1. I just loved it, the whole scene. I was like, yes, I had chills. I was shouting for joy. It was just the best thing in the world to see the Stark banners flying over Winterfell again. I mean, because it's been since it was season 2 when Theon came and basically just messed everything up from there. So it was very satisfying to see that again, and I'm glad to see that Sansa and Jon are home again. So that was my all-time favorite moment of that episode, and I really liked the episode, the way it was shot. I mean, it really looked kind of like a cinematic battle, something that you would see in a movie. And the reason why, I figured out that the guy who directed this episode also directed the Hardhome episode, which happened to be my favorite episode of last season. So it made sense that I would like them both. But yeah, so that was basically it. I don't know if you've seen it. If not, catch up. This season was by far the best season of Game of Thrones yet. This was one of the best episodes. This one and the last episode in the season was tied for me. And I'll come back and do a vlog on the last episode as well, because I did do a journal entry about that as well. But I just wanted to discuss Battle of the Bastards, what I felt about it. I'd like to know what you all thought of the Battle of the Bastards, what you would have liked to see, if there's anything else you would have liked to have seen, or if it was perfect, or what you liked about the episode, what you didn't like. Comment below. And thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.